There are a lot of games releasing towards the end of this year, but only a couple of big JRPGs, and today we're going to be talking about what you need to know about one of them in particular. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, the first mainline title in the series to release in the West in almost the last decade. Dragon Quest XI is set in the land of Erdrea, a place that similarly to some other JRPGs houses a tree of life that, as the name suggests, gives life to the world. You'll take the role of a young man who happens to learn he's a reincarnation of a great hero who once saved the world long ago and sets out on a journey to fulfill his destiny. It won't all be smooth sailing, however, as he'll quickly run into conflict with the kingdom of Heliodor. Upon revealing to them of his role as a hero, they are skeptical of his claims, deeming him the root of all evil, surrounding him and ultimately managing to lock him away in a dungeon. Thankfully, the main character is rescued and continues on his long adventure, one where he'll encounter numerous different people that will join his and your party, from a thief who helps you escape from Heliodor, a travelling performer, and even a child prodigy who wish to help the young fledgling hero save the world from an impending doom. It's the kind of story set up that if you're familiar with JRPGs you've seen many times before, but that's not necessarily a bad thing at all and seems an interesting enough premise. Gameplay wise, the Dragon Quest series remains refreshingly a very traditional turn-based RPG, something that you don't see too often nowadays, with most shifting more towards a real-time action type of battle system. With that said, even though it is turn-based, you have the option of two different camera modes, a cinematic one or one that allows you to move freely during battles like Final Fantasy XII that may make you feel more in control. In terms of longevity, you can expect to get 60 hours out of the main story alone, but with the many optional side quests and tasks, that jumps up to a mammoth 100 hours, so there'll be plenty of bang for your buck to be had in comparison to a lot of other games releasing this year. If the art style looks somewhat reminiscent of Dragon Ball, that's no surprise, as Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, is also the character designer for the Dragon Quest series, and his signature art style really shines through. In fact, you can see some similarities with the main character and Trunks, at least in the weaponry and hair department anyway. Dragon Quest XI releases pretty soon on September 4th for both the PS4 and PC, as well as sometime next year for the Nintendo Switch. The game originally launched in Japan last year for the PS4 and 3DS, however there are no plans to release a 3DS version in the West that I imagine is due to them porting the title to the Switch instead. Despite releasing a year after the Japanese version launched, the North American and European release has some very noticeable improvements and additions. These consist of a full English voiceover, something the Japanese version doesn't have in any form, a hard mode that offers additional challenge called Draconian Quest, a completely overhauled UI and menu that looks better and is easier to navigate, a first-person camera mode, as well as a new dash function that should make traversing the world a little quicker. All of these additions were made to not only simply improve the game, but also make it more accessible for Western audiences, something I think it exceeds in doing well. Even though it's the 11th main title, if you haven't played any of the previous games, that's no issue, as it has a completely self-contained world and story, meaning you can jump in with no prior knowledge of the series. The only real carryover from previous games is certain themes and aspects, like particular enemy designs, which often appear within each release. If you choose to play on a PS4, the game is graphically stunning, whether it be on the base model or the Pro. However, on the Pro it will run at a higher resolution, jumping up from a native resolution of 900p on the base PS4 to a resolution of 1728, and thanks to the checkerboarding method, then upscaled to 4K. Numbers aside, how much of a difference will this make? Ultimately, you'll notice that the cel-shaded lines are much sharper, and that there's just that extra bit of clarity across the board. Naturally, the Switch version will run at a lower resolution and therefore have more aliasing, but managing to fit such a large RPG onto what's essentially a handheld console that you can take on the go is pretty great. Let me know down in the comments if you'll be picking up the latest entry in the Dragon Quest series or not. The game is releasing in a difficult month where some really big heavy hitting titles are coming out, like Spider-Man, Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, so hopefully a more niche game such as Dragon Quest XI isn't ignored amongst them, as it looks fantastic at the moment. Also, if the game performs well over here in the West, it will help to ensure we get future releases localized too. That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell icon to receive notifications when future videos are posted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.